Otherdeed by Otherside. Oh, guys. So, I'll tell you my personal experience. We'll start with that. And first of all, I think let me start by saying that I've made a lot of money off the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem. I think they are the OGs. That hasn't changed. I think they know what they're doing in the space, and I respect them immensely. And I think they deliver more value than any other project. And I think no one can deny that. Because I think so highly of them, I was really expecting a gas optimized experience. And this drop was anything but. Really, I was shocked because, first of all, they only had about 50 or 60,000 KYC wallets. They had 55,000 that they were doing at the drop. The other 15,000 were minted by the team. So it started on 15,000, and they give you that full 15,000 distribution on their website. We'll find it. Then you had 19,000 by mutants and 10,000 by Bored Apes. So you had a drop of 55,000 available, and you had about 50,000 registered wallets, but only about 65, 70,000 of those had enough ApeCoin for both mints. And, it's not like millions of people could have gotten in, only if you KYC'd. So I had about 1 ETH in my wallet for gas. I thought that was more than enough. I had my ApeCoin ready. And unfortunately, the gas that I had was not enough. The transaction sat there for 4 hours and then failed. I did speed it up, and I couldn't speed it up again, because once you speed it up once, you can't speed it up a second time. So I actually wasn't able to mint, which I was really disappointed at. I have since picked up off the floor, but obviously at this price, you're not getting the rares. You're getting a revealed NFT, which is why we've seen this temporary dip. And I really do believe that this dip is temporary. But yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked that it wasn't more optimized. They literally broke the Ethereum network. And their tweet, they came out, they said, "Oh, so sorry, we broke Ethereum. We must develop our own ApeCoin chain." And everyone, has spoken about that and how it just felt like they didn't understand. They have refunded the gas for people whose transactions failed. I did get my gas refunded, but I still bought into ApeCoin at over $20. And when I sold out after the drop, it was like $16.50, $17. So I lost there. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm bitter, because, as I say, I've profited off this ecosystem hugely, and I respect them hugely. But because of that, I expected more. I didn't expect them not to have an optimized contract. They have the ability to do that. There's entry-level collections. They had optimized their contracts to a point that you pay, $15 in gas. Okay, this was hyped, so 10 times that, $150, $1,500. But to make you pay $6,000-7,000 in gas. And my concern with that is that there's over $100 million in gas that has gone out of the ecosystem, disappeared, because it's gas, it's burnt, it's gone. And I do think that this could possibly lead us into a bear market. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how long that bear market will be, but I do think that a lot of it has to do with the gas side of this. Also, I mean, to have this amount of Ethereum traded in a few days is just unheard of. I mean, this is breaking every record. It's like, the most in one day on OpenSea, the most minted. I mean, they made over $500 million on this mint. It's incredible. So now they've got a lot of money to play with. They also raised $450 million. So they've prior to this from venture capitalists. So they've got $1 billion that they're sitting on. So I really hope that this Otherdeed is incredible, and I'm sure they will keep rewarding holders. So let's dive into the OpenSea first, just to show you guys a couple of things. I then want to dive into their website to show you a couple more things. I then want to dive into Trade Sniper to show you guys a couple more things of what you need to be looking at. A lot of it is speculation, because at the moment, our good friends at Yuga have not released a lot of information, and we're all buying blind because of how well they've done in the past. But if you go on the side on OpenSea, you'll see there's a whole lot of stuff going on here. So you got, does it have an artifact or not? And you can search according to that. And then you've got per artifact. What artifact does it have? Now, everyone's busy looking for codas, and we'll talk about codas after this. But there's got to be value, in my opinion, to these artifacts, especially these rarer ones. And they have said that these are dynamic NFTs, which means that you can take things off and put things on. So, we will find out more, but knowing Yuga Labs, there is value to these artifacts that I think people are discounting. And as such, I think that there are some opportunities to try and snipe here. So you can search by artifact, yes or no, and you can see just in general, one artifact or more, what is the floor? Let's just change this to buy now. What is the floor of one with an artifact? 4.19, right? Whereas the floor for one without an artifact is 3.6. Now, some of these will have multiple artifacts. Let's just go into this first one just to show you how they've laid it out. So you got, every land has got a level here, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. That's what this dot refers to. So this is a level 1 land, okay? Let's make it bigger for you. Then you've got here, this one does have an artifact. The artifact is a glass eye, which you can see there. And again, you can see it's not attached to the land. So this will have some gameplay going forward, in my opinion. Doesn't this one have a coda? No. So if it does have a coda, it would say yes with the coda number. And northern resources, western resources, eastern resources, and southern resources. So this one has got a western resource called spikeweed. Now, we don't know what the resources do or mean or anything. Everything is speculation. So that's your basic understanding of the image that you see. Infinite expanse is they call it the, let's go back, the sediment, okay? You can see that's the most common one, infinite expanse. There's 25,000 of those. Then you get cosmic dream, rainbow atmos, there's 22,000. Chemical goo, which is the mutant's land, the mutant ape yacht club. There's still a few to be claimed, about 1,500. That will go to 19,000. And then you've got the biogenic swamp, which is the bored ape land. Now, if we jump onto their website and you click on explore, so it's just otherside.xyz, and you click on explore, what you can see here is their world, okay? Now, it's really, really pretty cool. I mean, the way that they've done this. So you can zoom in, just to stay zoomed out. The center here is the bored ape land. Then as you move out, you've got the mutant ape land, and then the outer sentiments that we saw, the other three. So the most valuable is the bored ape land, and then the mutant, and then further and further, right? So if we zoom in here, okay, let's just click to zoom in quicker. It doesn't like that I'm streaming and doing this at the same time. I'm sorry if it's a bit choppy. All right, so here you can see each of these dots represents a land, one of the lands, and each of them has got a number. So if you click on one of these dots, this will be the bored ape land. Okay, my computer is really, really not handling this so well, guys. If you click on it, it's going to open the land on the side here, but let me close this because it's not enjoying it. So let's just do this. Let's close and go out of there. Okay, you guys still with me? I wasn't enjoying that at all. All right, I think I'm back. Okay, great. All right, so what I've been doing is I've been keeping an eye on the biogenic swamp, which is the bored ape land. So if you sort here, let's remove the artifact sorting. And all we're looking now is what's for sale in the bored ape land. And here you can see that the floor price for bored ape land is just over 10 Ethereum. Just want to show you what a bored ape land looks like. It's got this blue underneath it. And over here, it says biogenic swamp, which is what they call it. And then if we look at the mutant, the chemical goo, so I have seen a few guys making a mistake and thinking all the gooey ones are chemical goo. That is not the case, and you've got to just be careful. Let me show you chemical goo, which is the mutant land. It looks like any other land, but it's got this green goo at the bottom of it. Okay, so you do get some with the green goo at the top and the green goo at the bottom, but it must say chemical goo. Otherwise, you are not buying a mutant land. And I have had some people telling me that they have messed up with that. So I'll show you one that is one, but that looks like that could not be. So what makes this particular NFT the mutant land is not the green sludge on the top, it's the green sludge on the bottom. Okay, so be careful. The ones that have green sludge here do not mean that they are the chemical goo ones. All right, so just be aware of that. All right. So let's see what we got here. Can you buy the artifacts separately? At this point, we don't know whether you can or not. At this point, no. We're going to talk about the codas now. Even the codas at this point are not separate. There's 10,000 codas out of 100,000, and they are on the land currently. Everyone is speculating that you will be airdropped your coda at some stage as a separate NFT, but no one knows at this point. But remember they refer to these as dynamic NFTs, which means that you might be able to remove it yourself, sort of like Doodles with their spaceship. So you might be able to remove your coda yourself. Let's actually look at codas quickly because that's also important. Okay, so we've looked at sediment and we've touched on artifacts that we don't know exactly what they are, but we do believe that they will have some value going forward. Then if we look at coda, so we say it must have a coda, you can see there's still 325 still out there because there's still some Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club holders that have not minted. So let's take sentiment away and we say, does it have a coda? Yes, it does. And then we'll see the floor price on any land with a coda currently is 23 Ethereum versus a 3.6 Ethereum, which is what it would be if there wasn't a coda on it. AP, you late. Got to go to the corner. Okay. Nabula from South Africa. I'm gonna get onto RTKFT after this. Promise you. We're gonna talk about it in detail, for sure. Okay. So what have we got going on here? We got our coda, and what does it look like when it's got a coda? Here is your coda. Now, all codas are not created equal. We do know coda 9,900 to coda 10,000 are more rare, and even aside from that, there are codas that are rarer than others, right? And you can search by coda attribute as well. So that's the basic ecosystem. At this point, we don't know much about the artifacts, and we don't understand how the codas are going to operate. Because of the video that Bored Ape Yacht Club did with the coda transporting the apes to and from different lands, there is speculation that they will be your transport system. So if you want to move from my land to your land or whatever, you will need a coda to do so. Again, everything is speculation. You know, Bored Ape Yacht Club has not given much detail, and they updated their website like a few minutes before mint, which I thought was really not the way to do it. Okay, we still got this acting up a bit. Let's do this. I'm going to close this window. I'm going to open a new one here, which should hopefully reset it. I mean, even their website drains your resources. It's crazy. Okay, so let's have a look here at what they've said about it. And that's if you want to be part of their testing. Frequently asked questions. I want to go to the world chat. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so you can see we've set out to build the Otherside with one thing in mind. The metaverse should be anything but boring. The world should be dynamic, steeped in narrative, and your actions should hold consequences. Step into the other side where the normal rules do not apply. Where you end up is where you end up, where you go is where you go. So I think it's important just to say that this is the biggest project in the spaces by far, entry into the metaverse and entry into gaming. I do think that there will be other opportunities to pick up this land on OpenSea at a similar price to where it is at the moment, because I can't imagine that they probably need 6 months to a year to develop this game fully, even with the resources that they have. It says the other side is part of a galaxy and part archipelago, with islands extending from the biogenic swamp, which we saw as the Bored Ape land, at the center and rolling outwards to the infinite expanse. There are 5 settlements, which we spoke about. Your Otherdeed is the key to a unique blend of environment, sediment, and treasures, some with resources, some home to powerful artifacts, and a very few codas. Okay, meeting the codas. There you see the artwork. The natural materials. Every piece of land in the other side nurtures up to 4 replenishing resources, right? So it makes it seem like they will replenish, that you will be able to harvest and utilize. Anime, ore, shard, and root. Some are rare, some less so. There are also raw materials that will help you shape the world. Treasures and tools. Scattered throughout the lands of Otherside are rare objects, some of which cannot be crafted by any other means. These are the artifacts. If you find an artifact, know that it may hold secrets to this world as it expands. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. And here it talks about dynamic NFTs, being that every Otherdeed is a dynamic NFT built as a collection of all its elements, from resources to codas. So it's a collection of different elements, meaning that, to me, that all of the separate elements can be removed and then put back, rather than a static representation of a piece of your land. Your Otherdeed is designed to evolve along with what you choose to do in the game. And then we spoke about this, the way that it's laid out. Shape the future. Your Otherdeed is the key to helping build the metaverse. Landowners are creators and can participate in that program. And that's all it says. That's really pretty much it. And that came out like a few minutes before mint. So, most people just minted and then are trying to figure it all out. And if we go to their Twitter, we can see here they're saying that they've refunded people, lots of followers, lots of interesting stuff. So the one thing that I've been doing is I've been using Trait Sniper, and actually Trait Sniper launched a project. So this is Trait Sniper, and it's really good for people who are looking to snipe rares or traits. So if we click on Otherdeeds, I'll show you here, it's pretty cool. It does take a second to load. So what I've been doing, okay, so here's all the listings. Then if you go here to trait floor and you select highest number of traits, it's going to sort it by the cheapest ones with the highest numbers of traits. You can even click here on traits and choose, where's it? And choose how many traits you want it to have, right? Trait count. So here you can see, yeah, there were much cheaper ones. 14 traits is 23 ETH, 15 traits is 23.39, 13. So yeah, so yesterday there were 14 traits at 5 Ethereum. That means it's got 14 different elements on it, or 14 different traits to it, which is obviously going to have more resources and be more valuable. But that seems to have been like people have figured it out, and people are starting to search according to how many traits there are. But this is a great tool if you don't know it. Trait Sniper. You can see their partners, and they actually recently launched OpenSea Collection, which it's a really powerful tool, and I do think that this is a good entry point if you are into rares and sniping and things like that. All right, so to move on for Nebula.